Hello everyone, I Jhalak Patel, Assistant Professor at IJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication, welcomes you to the session of Wireless Communication. Today I am going to discuss about Unit 2, that is Cellular Concept, with topic some examples related to cellular system that are left in Unit 2. So let's start the session. First of all, let's consider this example problem statement. Cellular system has 32 number of cells, each with 1.6 kilometer radius and system reuse factor of 7. The system supports 336 traffic channels in total. Determine the total geographical area covered, number of traffic channels per cell and total channel capacity. So, for discussing this type of example, here please consider that the number of cells over here is 32 number of cells. The radius of the hexagonal cell is 1.6. The system reuse factor, if you remember the concept of system reuse factor, then it is denoted by capital N. So here the values that are given in the example is n equal to 7 is given. Then total number of cells, that is 32 is given, total number of cells. Then radius of cell is given, that is 1.6 kilometer. So you have to first calculate the total geographical area covered by the system. So to calculate the total geographical area, here the cellular system uses the hexagonal shape. That's why we consider the shape of hexagon over here. So it is given by area is equal to 3 root 3 by 2 into r square. 3 root 3 by 2 into r square for the area of hexagon cell. So it is given by 3 root 3 by 2 as it is into r square. So over here the radius is given, that is 1.6 kilometer square. So 1.6 kilometer square. So this area will be in the kilometer range. So kilometer square will be the unit. Now this area is for one cell, due to one cell, one hexagonal cell. Now if we want to find out the area due to the other cell, then it is given by here. If you calculate this term, then it will be the answer will be the 6.65 kilometer square for one hexagon cell. Okay, so this is for one hexagon cell. Now if you want to find out the total area, then what you have to do is total geographical area. Total geographical area is given by the number of cells in the system into the area of one cell, into the area of one cell. So over here we find out the area of one cell, that is 6.65. How we will calculate? So it is calculated by 3 into root 3 by 2 into r square. So 9. Here the 9.6 is the area, 6.65 is the area of one cell. Now if we want to find out the total geographical area, then it is given by number of cells is equal to 32 into area of one cell, means 6.65. So this gives us the total geographical area covered. So total geographical area covered can be found out by 32 into 6.65. Now the number of traffic channels, how to find out this number of traffic channels? So here in the question, if you note that in the problem statement it is given that the total traffic channels available is 336. So and the reuse factor is also given in the question. Reuse factor is n equal to 7 and number of traffic channels total is 336. So what you have to do is, to find out the number of channels, we have to calculate it like this. The number of channels divided by the reuse factor, that is n. So number of channel is 336 channels. Divide by 7 because the reuse factor is 7. So it gives us the answer 48 channels per cell. So this is this second answer, that is 48 channels per cell. Now the another question that is asked is to find out the total capacity. Now total capacity means the total number of channels. Now this is the number of channel per cell. So if we find out the total number of channels, then we can calculate the total capacity, because capacity's answer is always in terms of number of channels. So let's find out the total number of channels, means total system capacity. So total system capacity is given by the number of channel per cell, number of channel per cell into total number of cells, total number of cells. So over here, if you note that we find out the number of channels per cell, that is 48 cells, and the total channel it is available is 48 channel, and total number of cell is 32. So what we have to do is 48 into 32, means 48 channel per cell into 32 number of total cells. So it can be written like this. It is equal to total number of cells, means total number of cells is 32 into number of channels, that is 48. So if you multiply this, you can get the answer 1536, means 1536 number total capacity. This capacity's unit is channels, number of channels. So this is how one can calculate the total geographical area, channels per cell, and even the capacity, but the capacity's answer is always in terms of channels. So this type of question can be asked in a 5 or 7 marks example, or it can also be asked as a 1 mark individual. Okay. Now let's consider another topic related example, that is find the signal to interference ratio for n equal to 4. Here this n equal to 4 means which answer is given? N equal to 4 means a path loss exponent is given. N is called as path loss exponent. Then cluster size is given. N equal to 7 means cluster size is given. And number of co-channel cells is given. Number of co-channel cells means I0 equal to 6. So what we have to do is find out the signal to interference ratio. So to finding out the signal to interference ratio, what we have to do is S by I is equal to, if you remember the formula that we discussed in the theory portion of chapter number 2, then it is S by I, means signal to interference ratio is given by under root 3n raised to n upon I0. Okay, S by I means signal to interference ratio equal to root 3n raised to n upon I0. So here this n is cluster size that is given in the problem statement, that is 7. I0 is number of co-channel cells, which is 6, and small n means path loss exponent. So we have all the values, so let's put it in a equation. So it can be written like this: 3 into now cluster size, that is 7, raised to small n is 4 upon I0, number of co-channel cells is 6. So this gives the answer of signal to interference ratio. So it is 73.46. If you calculate this, the answer is 73.46 in terms of value. But signal to interference ratio is always in dB, so you have to take the logarithm of this value, means 10 log of answer, means 10 log of 73.46, that is equal to 18.66 dB. So this is how one can calculate the signal to interference ratio if the path loss exponent and cluster size is given, and number of co-channel cells means I0 value is given. So this is the second type of example that can be asked in exam. Now let's discuss another type of example based on total available number of channels. In this session we discuss about how to find out the total number of channels, and in the next session we discuss about examples related to it. So first, to find out the total available number of channels, it is given by total available channels is equal to the total bandwidth allotted upon the channel bandwidth. Total bandwidth means total spectrum that is given in the question divided by the channel bandwidth. Now which type of channel bandwidth is given? So it can be asked like the 2 simplex channels are available or the duplex channels are available. So you have to write this on this place, channel bandwidth and total bandwidth, and if you divide the total bandwidth divide by number of channel bandwidth, then it gives number of available channels. Means it is like this, total available bandwidth. This is total available bandwidth, in which this is the channel bandwidth, different channel bandwidth. So you can get the answer for this total available channels by dividing total bandwidth with channel bandwidth. Now if you want to find out the number of control channels and traffic channels, then it can be calculated if one of the value is given, means either the control channels are given or number of voice channels are given. So if we consider the case that when you have the value of number of control channels or number of control channels is given, or the band of control channel allotted is given, bandwidth of control channel is given. So if bandwidth of control channel or number of control channel is given, then if you have the value of bandwidth of control channel, then you can find out the number of control channel by total bandwidth for control channel divide by the channel bandwidth. So this is how you can find out the number of control channels, means total bandwidth available for control channel divided by the channel bandwidth. Now this channel bandwidth is same as we put this in this equation. So these both values are same, either this or this. Channel bandwidth is same, but in case of finding out the number of control channel, you have to use the control bandwidth, and in case of finding out the total number of channels, you have to consider the total bandwidth. So this is the case, this is how you can find out the number of control channels. Now if you once you get the answer for number of control channels, then you can easily find out the number of voice channels. So number of voice channels are given by the total number of channels minus control channels. So this is how you can find out the number of voice channels. So based on the total available channels, this is how you can find out the number of voice channels, even number of control channels, or the total available channels. Now if in the place of the finding out the number of control channel, if number of voice channels are asked, then what you have to do is you have to divide the total bandwidth available for that particular voice channels to the channel bandwidth. Then it gives you the answer for number of voice channels, and once you get the answer for number of voice channels, then you simply subtract that value from total number of channels, and you can get the answer for number of control channels. Okay, so this type of question is mostly asked in the GTU for the 7 marker, in which all the parameters are given, bandwidth parameters are given, and you have to and asked about the available channels or number of control channels or number of voice channels. So in the next session we will discuss about the examples related to this method and some another signal to interference noise examples related to unit number 2. Okay, so if you have any doubt related to these examples that we discussed in today's lecture, you can ask me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching.